On today's episode of Texas Murder Mystery, a small-town church, a devoted mother, a stormy Texas night. At 4 a.m., Missy Bevers walked into Creekside Church to set up for her fitness class. Less than an hour later, she was brutally murdered. Her killer has never been caught. Captured on chilling surveillance footage, a figure dressed in full SWAT gear prowls the halls. Calm, methodical, almost taunting. Who was this person? A stranger? Someone Missy knew? As we approach the 10-year anniversary of this tragedy, new technology, mysterious messages, and fresh leads may help finally solve this mystery. Was it a robbery gone wrong? A crime of passion? Or something even darker? Stay with us as we break down the evidence, uncover hidden clues, and explore every theory that could finally unmask the killer of Missy Bevers. This is Texas Murder Mystery, created and produced by NDF. The case of Missy Bevers is not just another cold case. At 45 years old, Missy was a loving wife and devoted mother to 3 daughters who were the center of her world.
She was a great woman, a great a wife, a great mother, a great friend.
Friends describe her as someone who could light up any room with her infectious energy and smile.
Missy was not a trainer to us. Missy was our family.
Passionate about fitness, she poured her heart into helping others transform their lives as a camp gladiator instructor, often waking up before dawn to lead her classes. She was deeply involved in her community, known for her kindness, her laughter, and her determination to lift others up. To those who loved her, Missy was not just a victim. She was a woman full of life, love, and purpose, whose story demands to be told. Her killer must be brought to justice. On the evening of Sunday, April 17, 2016, severe thunderstorms swept across North Texas. The storms forced Missy Bevers, a certified Camp Gladiator instructor, to move her outdoor boot camp class into the Creekside Church of Christ.
She posted online, "If it's raining, we're still training."
At 8 p.m., she posted on Facebook that the class would meet inside due to the rain. She planned to arrive early the next morning to set up mats and equipment before her students showed up at 5 a.m. Around 3:50 a.m. on April 18, 2016, a figure dressed in black tactical clothing, including a helmet, gloves, vest emblazoned with the word police and shin guards, approached the Creekside Church. Surveillance cameras inside the church activated. The cameras captured the person breaking a glass pane on the side door and what appears to be a pry bar or hammer, then wandering the hallways, turning lights on and off. The suspect can be seen breaking interior glass panes, opening doors, and rummaging through cabinets for nearly 30 minutes. At approximately 4:18 a.m., Missy arrived and unlocked the main door. She began carrying equipment from her truck into the church and down the hall to a classroom. Within minutes, she encountered the intruder. Students arriving around 5 a.m. found Missy's lifeless body lying between shattered glass and overturned equipment.
Police are trying to figure out why somebody dressed as a police officer ambushed and murdered a fitness instructor at a church.
Good evening, guys. There are so many troubling aspects to this crime. A murder committed inside a church, a murder in a town that hasn't seen a murder in years, and a suspect caught on surveillance camera wearing full police tactical gear.
I was actually having a class inside the facility today because of the rain, and so her students actually were in the building and found her.
She had suffered multiple puncture wounds to the head and chest, injuries that investigators believe were caused by the tools the suspect carried. A hammer recovered near her body was consistent with her wounds. The crime scene presented a puzzling picture. Several doors and cabinets were damaged. However, nothing of value was taken. Missy's purse, wallet, and keys remained untouched. Her handgun, which she kept in her vehicle, was never used. The building's exterior cameras weren't working that night, and the interior cameras recorded the suspect only from certain angles. The suspect's clothing is perhaps the most chilling clue. The individual wore what appears to be SWAT gear, a black helmet, gloves, a bullet-resistant vest with police patches, and shin guards. Law enforcement experts later debated whether the gear was authentic or a costume.
The video depicts an unknown male walking inside the church building dressed in police-type clothing and wearing a helmet and gloves. He is designed to look like a police officer. His intent was to look like a police officer.
Police say the killer was dressed in full tactical gear with a helmet, a vest that says police on the back, and gloves. The killer first appears on a church security camera at 10 minutes to 4 Monday morning.
The suspect carried a hammer or pry bar in one hand and occasionally rested it on their shoulder. Investigators estimate the person's height measured from the top of the helmet to be roughly 5 feet 8 inches. A key feature, though, is the suspect's gait. The video shows the feet pointed outward with a pronounced bend in the right foot. The church did not have a burglar alarm, and the windows were unguarded. When investigators arrived, they found broken glass in several places, but some of the broken panes were not large enough for anyone to crawl through. It appeared the suspect smashed windows and cabinets for reasons other than entry. A pry bar found near the side door suggested that was the point of entry. Midlothian police faced unprecedented pressure. This was the city's first murder in nearly 7 years.
This is an extremely unusual situation for the city of Midlothian. We have a very, very safe community. And in fact, this is going to be the first event of my tenure here in almost 10 years.
Thousands of tips poured in as the surveillance video went viral. Investigators initially explored two possibilities: a botched burglary or a targeted killing. Nothing was taken from the church, and the intruder wandered aimlessly for 30 minutes before Missy's arrival, leaving many, including Police Chief Carl Smith, to believe the killer planned to ambush Missy.
Police say there is no recent history of a break-in or vandalism there. One investigator agreed the murder certainly has elements of a targeted attack, but they aren't ruling out an interrupted burglary. Several doors were breached at the church, a lot of damage, but nothing found missing.
It's just an odd random situation that they would actually happen to come into a building that was being burglarized on a Monday morning.
One of the earliest leads came from an unrelated business's surveillance camera.
I am standing in the parking lot where the video was taken of the vehicle that they are looking for the morning that Missy Bevers was murdered, and the car was seen here roughly an hour or so before the murder.
Around 2:00 a.m., a silver or light-colored 2010 to 2012 Nissan Altima drove slowly through the parking lot of SWFA Outdoors near the church. The driver turned headlights on and off, parked briefly, then left.
Video of a suspicious car on the morning a mother and fitness trainer was murdered inside a Midlothian church. Could it provide the answer that has become really a national murder mystery?
Police described the vehicle as a witness and stated the driver may have information, but is not necessarily a suspect. Despite appeals, the driver has never come forward. Investigators also obtained search warrants for phone and social media records. One warrant revealed that Missy received a creepy LinkedIn message from an unknown man days before her death.
As for that LinkedIn message, there's a couple of different things. First, a couple of days before her murder, they believe there was one set of texts coming from a so-called creepy person that they're still trying to identify. But according to the affidavits, and I read them all today, there was another communication going on with someone else for a matter of months. It is unclear whether that person, I could name him, but I'm not going to at this point. All you have to do is read the affidavit, that person and she were communicating, according to this, since January. Now, that doesn't mean anything. We don't know that that's an affair. Could be a friendship.
Although the message was described as flirtatious by the sender, police investigated to determine whether a stalker used social media to track Missy's schedule. They also examined evidence of marital strain and extramarital affairs noted in the warrant. These personal issues led to speculation that jealousy or revenge might be a motive. Police interviewed Missy's husband, Brandon, and other family members. Brandon was 600 miles away on a fishing trip in Mississippi at the time.
Tell me, Brandon, where were you when you heard about it? Can you give me a kind of a reaction?
I was in Biloxi, Mississippi, about to go on a fishing trip down on the Chandeleur Islands, and heard about it this morning. Received a phone call from a couple of Missy's campers.
Missy's father-in-law, Randy, was on a trip to California, but became the subject of intense online speculation after a dry cleaner reported a blood-stained woman's shirt he dropped off.
We go on the air at 6 o'clock. We continue to follow breaking news tonight out of Midlothian.
Now, we've got an explanation from Randy Beavers, the father-in-law of Missy Bevers, after a search warrant shows police seized his property from a dry cleaner. Gilma Avalos live in Midlothian this evening with all the newest information.
Yeah, Doug and Kaylee, according to the search warrant, Midlothian police have seized a woman's white shirt, size XXL, that Missy Bevers' father-in-law allegedly took to a local dry cleaner just on Friday. This appears to be a copy of that receipt. You can see the description here. It says pullover, animal blood, red, all over white. Now, Randy B, as well as his son, just has been in the police station here behind me. They're inside of that police station right now. According to detectives, Randy Beavers took 4 shirts to the dry cleaner, 3 shirts described as men's shirts, 1 XXL women's shirt with blood stains on it on April 22nd. The Dry Clean Supercenter reached out to police that same day. The clerk said that Beavers had explained the stains on the white shirt came from, quote, animal blood.
My wife's white shirt had blood stains on it too. So both of us had blood stains on her shirt and mine. So, because it, yeah.
And then, Randy, even though it's brought you this attention, would you say that you're glad that they're looking so closely?
You better believe it. You better believe it. You better believe it. If they weren't, they wouldn't be doing their job. Okay, so by them doing this, it tells me that they're being diligent and doing their job on any tiny little whatever comes across is being looked at, and it should be.
Tests confirmed the blood belonged to a dog wounded during a fight, and investigators ruled the item unrelated to the murder. Nonetheless, the rumor mill cast suspicion on the Beavers family.
I'm discouraged to the point where I truly want to just reach out to this individual myself. As odd as it may sound, I can truly forgive you for what you've done, but only if you come forward, turn yourself in, do what's right. Don't live the rest of your life with this on your heart, because it will eat you like cancer. The same applies with my family. We need closure. This is going to eat us alive for many years to come.
Forensic specialists scrutinized the surveillance footage frame by frame. They measured the suspect's height and studied the gait, noting the outward rotation of the right foot and a possible limp. Because the figure's build and movements are ambiguous, investigators could not determine a definitive gender. Some viewers see broad shoulders and assume a man. Others note smaller stature and hypothesize a woman.
I've had several people look at it and say that's a woman. In fact, one of the people who told me that is a retired longtime investigator from the Dallas County Sheriff's Office. He says this appears to be a woman to him. And the more I look at it, I think it very well could be a woman and not a man. I don't think we can say for sure that it's a man at the very least.
Are you still perplexed if that's a man or a woman in that video?
I am. And it's frustrating to say that, but even in among our investigators, there's a split opinion. Even the FBI, using high-tech forensics, not able to reach a definitive conclusion. Police can't even say whether the killer was after Missy.
In the years after the murder, Midlothian police sought help from federal agencies and private analysts. A forensic podiatrist reviewed the video to study the suspect's foot movements.
In forensic podiatry, you do it systematically. You would start looking at their entire frame, their entire body. How do their hands and arms move and swing?
He spent hours studying the surveillance video to see if he could find clues that would lead to the killer.
The right is significantly out-toed in this person.
While other experts attempted DNA sequencing on evidence collected at the scene.
Midlothian police insist it's not a cold case and in a statement says its investigative team spends at least 1 to 2 days a month sequestered in a conference room where they can work without interruption on this case. On other occasions, the team meets at the scene of the crime and reassesses the incident.
Police have also employed artificial intelligence to enhance video frames and cross-check potential suspects. The size and the gait of the suspect lead investigators to believe that someone out there knows who this killer is.
We really do believe that somebody still knows that this person is out there. Somebody knows who this person is. They haven't yet come forward.
Law enforcement asking the public to focus on the suspect's distinctive walk. Beavers' mother-in-law writing an open letter to the killer. You know who you are. Your husband or wife and family members know who you are. They know your special walk. Right now, they are as guilty as you are by not coming forward.
I want to look at that person straight in the eye. And I want to see them take their last breath when they get to prison. And it may be 10 years from now, but I will be there.
The brutal murder of Missy Bevers shattered the sense of safety in Midlothian.
Photos of bright times in Missy Bevers' life played before a crowd of more than 1,000, there to mourn the 45-year-old mother and fitness instructor murdered inside a Texas church.
It showed what her life represented. She was such a beautiful person, and she was a friend to everybody.
Creekside church members were traumatized. Missy's students were devastated.
Beavers' students and colleagues wore red, their workout clothes, to honor her. The pastor singled them out during the service, saying they embodied the spirit of Missy.
Over the years, candlelight vigils and memorial runs have kept her memory alive.
Tonight's workout is in honor of Missy. How about that? It's pretty
On Monday, it was raining again. Her fitness students doing their exercises outside, still hoping for that one clue that will allow police to solve this murder mystery.
We're family. Missy was not a trainer to us. Missy was our family.
Her friends planted a tree at Kimmel Park and hold an annual awareness event around the anniversary of her death.
Vigil organizer Renee Rodin hosts a podcast that digs deep into Missy's murder. It's helped build a big following of people intrigued and perplexed by her case.
I was a friend of hers. I worked with her.
She's one of the few in attendance who actually knew Missy.
She was very humble. She was very sweet, very caring.
She vows not to stop talking about her until Missy's murder is solved.
In June 2025, nearly a decade after the murder, the True Crime Broads podcast hosted an awareness rally at Heritage Park across from Midlothian City Hall. Former co-worker Renee Rodden explained their motivation.
Our killer deserves to be caught and brought to justice.
Volunteers displayed banners, distributed flyers, and invited passerbys to share information. Another awareness event is planned around Missy's birthday later this year. Missy's husband and daughters have largely stayed out of the spotlight, focusing on healing. In 2018, they welcomed the assignment of Detective Andy Vaughn, hoping a fresh perspective would crack the case. The family finds solace in the support of strangers who continue to seek justice.
The fitness instructor who loved children, friends say Missy Bevers would have loved to see the turnout at the 5K in her honor to raise money for the Boys and Girls Club.
Today was an opportunity for me to really share what Missy did and to keep her passion living in life.
The Missy Bevers case became a magnet for internet sleuths. True crime forums, Reddit threads, and Facebook groups dissected every rumor.
Maybe the suspect didn't know whether or not the church had an alarm system.
Could that kind of car be mistaken for the dark SUV seen leaving the church that morning?
This person was having trouble walking. They had an injury.
Today, the Creekside Church hallways are quiet again, but the memory of April 18, 2016 lingers.
You have sad moments, you have angry moments, you have moments of where you're up here because you remember all the amazing things that she did and she said. And
Renee Jones is the head trainer for Camp Gladiator and a friend of Beavers.
The hardest part for us is just the acknowledgement and not knowing.
Missy Bevers' unsolved murder has become one of Texas' most mysterious cold cases. It reveals the dark side of anonymity, the vulnerability of public schedules, and the persistence of grief. Investigators believe the case can be solved. New forensic techniques, increased awareness, and the passage of time may persuade someone to come forward.
She didn't deserve to be murdered. And People have to care about that. They have to care about justice.
There remains a substantial reward for information leading to an arrest. If you or someone you know saw anything unusual in Midlothian on the morning of April 18, 2016, or recognize the gait or the gear from the surveillance video, please contact the Midlothian Police Department by calling the phone number on your screen. Missy was a mother, a wife, and a friend whose life ended far too soon. Her family deserves answer, and her killer must face justice. Thank you for watching another episode of Texas Murder Mystery, created and produced by NDF.